Good afternoon, people. This is Sam, South Carolina Happy Bees. We're looking at a double deep with a honey super on top. It's one we used to call Bunny a long time ago, which he started it with Bunny. But it is number 440 now. Not that I have 440 hives, but you gotta number them something. Could give them names, but I wouldn't remember the names. So this is 440. Last time we was in here, it was on the 28th of last month. Today is the 14th. And let's see if they're doing anything with the honey super. Like I've told y'all before, they haven't been doing much with the honey supers. There's a little beetle trying to get in that didn't make it. There we go. No bugs. And they have one frame here that they're building out, sort of kind of fat. Let me make it where y'all can see pretty much the whole thing here. We're going to be putting them over here. Yep, I think y'all can see that. But this one here, why they haven't been going into honey frames, I don't know. I figure that's brand new wax, store-bought wax. Like I've said in a couple of things, the wax, when you buy this wax, you don't know exactly where it's coming from, what country it's coming from, who it's coming from. Your people that make these foundations, they buy the truck by the wax by truckloads or thousands of pounds at a time. They don't know where it comes from either. It could be diseased, it could be, it had chemicals in it, and just because they melt it down to make wax, you can't heat it too hot. Melt it down to make foundation, it doesn't get rid of the bad stuff that's in it. But that one there, and that one's been in there for a while. This is one that they started to build out that they hadn't done anything to. Now granted, we haven't been having a nectar flow, but still. This one here they're working on a little bit. They're building it out. Maybe if we'd have a better honey flow, they would do something. But they're spending all their time on this one frame right here. This is the only honey frame up there they're working on. It's in the middle. Same thing on both sides. The rest of the frames, they may be building it out a little bit. I'm not going to take it off because I think we're still going to get a honey flow coming here. And it only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It only had 7 frames in it to start with. And it's probably all of them put back in it. Smoke them a little bit. They don't need much. Pollen patty looks okay, no bugs in it. Now, this wax up here, make sure you can see it. people talk about burr comb on top of the frames. Notice there's not very much burr comb on top of this. That's just, they use that for ladders. Okay, but there's not a whole bunch of burr comb up there to where they're laying eggs in it and putting drones in it and stuff. It's just a little bit. And I look at it. And they use it for ladders because it's got little short fingers and little short legs. And they use it for ladders. The only thing about it is if I put this back on here on a real crowded hive, I squish bees, and I don't like doing that. Take that one off. And that's one of the places they're putting their nectar. That's mostly drone brood cells. And we're just going to set it over here. This one here has some brood. It has honey, it has little larvae. Don't see any eggs. See any eggs? If y'all can, when you're looking at your frames, see that one's got some brood in it and stuff like that. But when you're looking at your frames, try to hold them over the beehive, because when the bees start falling off, and if there's a queen on there, you don't want to lose her. And you're saying, Sam, you don't always do that. You know, you're right. I don't always do that, and I have to walk off sometimes to find me a sunny spot to look for eggs. This one here has honey, some brood. I need to put on my glasses. It's got babies being hatched. Glasses aren't doing that great anyway. I need to bring in a magnifying glass. Might do that. But I get new glasses next month. Got some eggs and young larvae in it. Got a little baby being born, hatching out. There she is. She just hatched out. Okay, we got some eggs and larvae in that one, in the vacant space. Got honey up around the top. Put my leg up on something. There we go. Here has some honey, some brood, some young larvae, some older larvae. I want to find some eggs, but I haven't found the young ones yet. This one here. A couple of queen cells that I think are empty. Yep. Yep. Engineer's out working again. Spotty brood on this doesn't really mean a whole lot because there's eggs in between it. That's just brood that's hatched out that for some reason some of those cells may have had, hate to say it, but something wrong with the eggs. We've been oxalic aciding them. I have another question. Maybe somebody can help me out with this. I write down on some of my lists after I oxalic acid them, and I write down acid. That means I've done it. They told me that they've never heard of the word acided. So it just doesn't sound right when I say I acid the bees. Anyway, that's just the same thing anyhow. Down south. This one here has capped brood, honey. I don't see any eggs. Side here has brood. I don't see any eggs. Same thing both sides. Push them together. Don't just drop it down in beside it, the other frame, and drop it, because you're going to roll some bees that way maybe. And if you're not careful, you could roll the queen. This one has some larvae and eggs. It's possible this little girl is swarmed. And I missed them too. I missed quite a few of the big ones during that rainy and my leg messed up. See what we got in this one. Yeah, we've got some young larvae. Some eggs. Some honey. And that's them. Still haven't seen what I want yet. What I want to see is a bunch of brood, good brood pattern. This one here has the brood and larvae. Bringing in pollen. Now this is getting more to what I'd like. That one's pretty much laid up on both sides. So we may be getting somewhere here. But when you put it down like this, and then slowly bring it in to get these two little doodaddies to match without squishing bees. That's mostly drone cells. And they're filling it with nectar. That's why you want to hold it over the frame. And that one there is filled, or has honey, capped honey in it. And no bugs. Okay. Now we're going to push them all back. Come on. Take these little girls and stick them right there. Nope. And take them little girls, turn it around the right way and stick it right there. No bugs. I think we saw that one little beetle. There we go. Now we're going to take this one and stick it up there. Get these little girls off the top. They probably can't fly back home. Good, y'all notice my bees are gentle. That's what we keep here, gentle bees. If they're not gentle, we take them somewhere else. Not just the queen, but the hives and everything. And when you open your bees, if you're like me and got a lot of grass around here and you haven't weed eated lately, when you're putting your box back in, you want to make sure that you don't put any grass in here, because the grass could cause a fungus inside the hive and make it what is the situation. This one here, they're not doing anything on. They're thinking about it though. But thinking about stuff don't get nothing done. They're bringing in pollen. This one here is a good laying frame. Got some pollen on it. Got the pollen on it. They may have formed and just get started again. Haven't seen any queen cells though. A lot of times when they stop laying, because they have mites, and they have to stop laying to get rid of the mites, changes the mite cycle. There's blue queen. That's our problem. Maybe. She's right there. There's the beetle. Was a beetle. That's a little blue queen. We're going to need to do something. She's about 3-4 years old. So we're going to need to find some eggs. She won't make it through the winter and into the fall, into the spring. I don't think. She's not laying enough eggs. Very little to anything on the bottom down here. Got some pollen. me take that super off the top. Oh, yeah, if you got mites, one way, the natural way of getting rid of mites is to change their laying pattern. It's got a bunch of pollen on it. They're over here festooning along this edge. So they're getting ready for something. We'll come back in about a week. See what they're doing. And here's got some pollen. No eggs. Now I could take this box, put it on top, take this box and put it back on the bottom, but I don't think that would help her out too much. One little one. Let me know what y'all think. I got a lot of nectar. I mean a lot of pollen. Got some honey in it. Yep. Got some honey and some stuff in it. All these centered up. Now the pollen, I've read that bees can't move it like they can the honey and the nectar. Honey and nectar, they just grab it and walk off with it. Pollen is pretty much stacked down in there for food. They didn't swarm, she's just not laying. And it could be because of the hot weather. Could have been because of hot weather and we have no pollen coming in. And they have pollen, so I'm not going to give them a couple of fruits down here. Now, we need a place for the honey frame. Seeing how we're going to get rid of the super. See what we got up here. That's fat one. We're going to leave it the way it is. Because I'd have to take two of these out, put that one frame up here because it's a fat frame. We'll wait until they see, this frame here is fat, so if I have to take one of these out, put that in, then it wouldn't fit. seeing how we don't want to squish these bees on top of this wax, we're gonna tell them they need to go down. Put this back on so we don't squish nobody. Put this one back in here. We're only going to put 7 up here. We're going to space them a little bit in case they decide they want to build all of them fat. And then we're going to put their feeder up here. We'll give a couple more peppermints up there. We'll give them some food. Give them some flotation. Another little beetle down here. Thing back up there. Put that back there, and that be done. Got to keep checking the camera, didn't I? Hope y'all saw everything. Y'all have a great day. Give us a thumbs up, comment. I think I'll close one of those holes up too, maybe even close the bottom up a little bit. The bottom is wide open. It's got wide open, it's got a hole there. I think I'll close that hole, close the bottom up just a little bit. Okay. Give us a comment, share, thumbs up. If you give me a thumbs down, at least be kind enough to let me know why, so I can fix the problem, if there is one. Subscribe and keep watching, because we're going to keep going. We do not have a playlist for this one. Y'all have a great day. Be careful out there. Have a wonderful weekend coming up, and bye.